have a security clearance, because many lawyers have them because of the nature of their practices generally. But if they don't have one, it's a couple of week process. Those forms, which I filled out many times at the Justice Department, are multiple pages long, and you have to fill in sort of your life's history for the last 10 years. And then they have to look at, make sure you're telling the truth.
Yeah, they certainly do. It's a very rigorous process and takes quite a bit of time. We also heard from the former president on his social media platform earlier today. He wrote, quote, "Indictment must be immediately withdrawn by the Injustice Department and with apology." Sarah, of course, you worked alongside the former president. Do you think that he's doing this as a politician running for president, or that he genuinely believes that he did nothing wrong?
I think that he jumped in the 2024 race because he knew he was facing legal trouble, and he thought it would be a shield for him. And so I do think that now that he's in the race, he's going to try to, shift blame, make all these different excuses that this is politicization and the DOJ is being weaponized. But the truth of the matter is, with this case in particular, Donald Trump could have avoided this indictment altogether had he just listened to his lawyers and given the documents back. This is 100% self-inflicted.
I mean, in terms of not listening to his lawyers, you're not going to find lawyers who say go out and bash the lead prosecutor against you. In this case, it's Jack Smith. And on that same social media platform, Truth Social, we've heard Trump talk about Jack Smith, calling him deranged, claiming the indictment was initiated by, quote, misfits, mutants, Marxists, and communists. So, Michael, do any of those comments online matter to the judge who will be presiding over this case?
I think at some point, if it persists, she's going to call them in and say, like they said to Michael Cohen in the earlier case, cool it. We just don't want to hear all this. Because remember, there's a jury that has to be selected. And if you're poisoning the jury pool, and what Trump doesn't realize, I don't think, is that if he completely poisons the jury pool, the prosecutors may say, look, we can't get a fair trial here. Let's move it someplace else. Usually it's the defendant who does that. But if the well is so poisoned by his rhetoric, he may find himself in a different jurisdiction.
And Sarah, in terms of just stepping back and looking at why the former president is running to be president again, he would only get 4 more years. What do you think is really the driving factor here?
I do think that he thinks that by running for president, that he could potentially pardon himself of any crimes that he may face or convictions for any of these investigations. I mean, you look at it, we already have 2 indictments, potentially more coming down the road. And so he knows that he had legal trouble. And so he's hoping that he can get back to the White House and probably potentially pardon himself and any of his allies surrounding him.
Yeah, the case in Georgia, the January 6th case, also being led by Jack Smith, still very much out there and certainly weighing on the former president. Sarah Matthews, Michael Zeldin, thank you both very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now, coming up, we have an exclusive report from Sudan. CNN uncovers atrocities, potential war crimes, and a troubling link to the mercenaries who are waging war in Ukraine. Stay with us.
It's easy to get lost in investment research. Introducing JP Morgan Personal Advisors.
Hey, David.
Connect with an advisor to create your personalized plan.
Let's find the right investments for your goals.
Okay, great.
JP Morgan Wealth Management.
As someone living with type 2 diabetes, I want to keep it real and talk about some risks. With type 2 diabetes, you have up to 4 times greater risk of stroke, heart attack, or death. Even at your A1C goal, you're still at risk, which if ignored could bring you here. May put you in one of those, or even worse. Too much? That's the point. Get real about your risks and do something about it. Talk to your healthcare provider about ways to lower your risk of stroke, heart attack, or death. Learn more at getrealaboutdiabetes.com.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize them, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. Here at Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you're not getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Not that into saving, are you?
Whoa, dude.
Money. Because you paid too much for those glasses. Next time, go to America's Best, where 2 pairs and a free quality eye exam start at just $79.95. Book an exam today at americasbest.com.
Hey, bud. Wow. What's all this?
Hawaii was too expensive, so I brought it here.
You know, with Priceline, you could actually take that trip for less than all this.